Okay, give me one moment, you guys. Let me actually pause the recording. Okay, so how's everybody's week been going?
Been going fine.
Yeah, good deal. So, what's been going on? Have you had pretty good success getting all of week one's activities done, Alicia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great, great. And how about you, Bridget?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you, Bridget.
Okay, cool.
All right, awesome. And Miss Candace Swindell down in El Paso. How's everything been in your hood? Candace.
Hey, can you hear
Hey.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
Oh,
you.
okay. I'm trying to figure this out. I know I look crazy.
No, no, no. You look great. You look great.
Okay,
How's your week been going?
pretty good. My week is pretty okay. So I guess we're set up then. Okay, yeah. So my week is pretty good. How about
You're live on Candid Camera.
yeah? Good talking to you.
Oh, you too. You too. And Shannon, how are you doing?
Doing great.
Doing great. Awesome. Hey, so on everybody's screen, does it kind of look like the Brady Bunch thing, title screen, where it's like,
Yeah, but yeah.
all right, cool, cool. And Adrian, how's everything in your world? Okay, yes, it does. I think Adrian's on telephone. So, okay, well, this is about you guys. So, questions, and I'm going to give out the answers. And Adrian said that everything's okay, not as far along as I would like. Okay, what's going on, Adrian? Okay, and you guys, this is all about you guys. So, we're going to keep this going as long as you guys have questions. So, if you guys are good to go, then I'm going to go and eat some dinner. But if y'all have some questions, I'll get them answered.
Okay, I think I'm gonna wait on Adrian, and I think she's typing something now, and then I'll ask mine.
Okay, great. And let me go ahead and publicly acknowledge Jonte. Thank him for putting that video of the Mason letters. So that's definitely something that can save you guys a little bit of money that are doing middle H stakes and bandit signs. So let's see. And I know, Alicia, you had started calling up title companies and they were giving you grief, right?
I did. A lot of them were like, "We don't know what you're talking about. We don't do contracts. This is business closings here." But I found out through one title company that Georgia is a attorney only state. So then I contacted and I finally got through to somebody. I ended up faxing over the seller agreement and the assignment agreement, and I faxed it over to them, and they haven't got back with me yet. But he said he does do double closings and also assignment of contracts.
Bam. That's what I'm talking about. Good job, Alicia. So what city in Georgia are you in?
I'm in Duluth, Georgia. I'm on the north side of the north side, basically. I'm right around. I'm like 25 minutes from downtown Atlanta.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. There's definitely tons of places in Atlanta. So what you can do is you can just, make face-to-face contact with them as well, Alicia. And usually that works out good. And if something should happen where they don't give you the news that you want, then Atlanta's a big enough place where there's tons of wholesalers doing business out there. So we can like real quickly just make a post and somebody will tell you, hey, go to this place, go to that place, go to this place. So I thought you were like out in the
Now, let
like
me
rural
ask you.
areas of Georgia. I thought you were in like the rural Donald Trump areas of Georgia. All right, cool. So I'm glad you got that done. And I'm
Screen's
just,
like freezing up. I think my connection is kind of bad.
what's that?
Okay, I have a question. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Bring
So
it.
whenever you're setting up your domains, do you find it more, I guess, more useful or people going after your domains if it's like Georgia Cash buy homes for cash or like the company name? Like, which gives you more, I guess, leads to your website? Is it something exactly like your business name or something catchy and crazy? Because my business name is EKC Property Solutions. That's the LLC that I went with. But I
Okay.
just don't feel like that's kind of catchy enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally understand what you're saying, Alicia. What I would do if I was in your shoes is, yeah, the EKC, I'm sorry, EKC Property Solutions, you said?
Correct.
Oh, okay. So that's cool for your business name. For your name that you put on your website and whatnot, go ahead and pick something that is geographically targeted. So pick something like We Buy Houses Atlanta or ATL Cash Houses or what is your zip? What is one of your zip codes out there in Atlanta?
30096.
Well, I mean your area code.
Area code 404.
Okay, there you go. So like 404 home buyers, 404 property solutions, Cobb County house sellers. Pick something that's geographically location based for your website name. Okay, and then on your website title, Sell House Fast Atlanta. Okay, and then you can go ahead and put your company name at the bottom. Because at the end of the day, and no offense, your company name doesn't mean anything, okay? When it comes to marketing, you want to capture people that are looking for to sell their house quickly in Atlanta, right?
Right.
And then when you get in front of them, Malaysia, then you're going to give them a contract, and that contract is going to say EKC Property Solutions LLC is buying your house. You froze, Alicia.
So if Alicia is done,
What's going on?
It looks like you're whistling, Alicia, where it had you freeze because you're like,
Yeah, I'm done.
you're like, all right, so she's done. Okay, go ahead, Candace.
okay, so the first thing is this is really weird. And so in short, this
You're calling
guy,
me weird?
yeah, no, not you. This property. So a guy called and he said that, he wanted to see if we were interested in buying the property and it's going to be finished with construction in April or May. So instantly I'm thinking, okay, well, let me call this guy back and tell him, we're investors. This is not what we do. I'm not going to, buy the house for myself. I'm not going to be able to give you the amount on the property that you want. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. Maybe just wait. So I call him back, explain everything to him, what we're doing. And I cannot figure it out. He really has me scratching my head. He said that he's still willing to entertain the offer that we can give him that's much less than the ARV. He said he bought the house. He got it built to sell. Have you heard of anything like that before? Where, like, is he getting like a great deal on it or what to be able to consider, 67%, even less than that ARV? How is that possible?
Yeah, so was that Greg?
Oh.
What's going on, Greg? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Good.
That's
So
good.
nice to meet you, man.
Yep, I'm here.
Awesome. So okay. So basically, Candace, the guy called you, or did you contact him? I'm sorry.
No, he called me and left a message. Yeah, and
Okay.
I called him back after the message.
Okay, great. How did he find you?
He found me from one of our signs that we had put out a while back. So It's a part of the town. We actually need to remarket. We found out some better places to put our bandit signs. We learned about that. So we're gonna, go at it again this weekend. But we're trying to stay away from that area, just because we've seen a lot of rehabs done there, but a few people that we know, I know a couple of realtors and buyers that they just kind of want to stay away from that unless it's a really, really good deal, because it takes them a while to sell unless it's sold for really cheap. So I was kind of shocked that he, actually still saw our sign, and that it was in that area, because I was trying to stay away from it. And now when I realized, like, I can show you pictures, the house is not even built. I drove by it today. It's just, what do you call it? Wood? It's like.
They're barely framing the house. The house isn't built yet. But Johnson, listen up.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
So basically, he is building the house right now, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And he wants you guys to buy it?
Yes.
Okay.
That sounds crazy, right?
yeah. But you said he's willing to take a discount on it?
Yes, he's saying, he says that he owns it outright. He doesn't owe anything on it. How is that possible? Number one. And number two, why would you be willing to sell it for such a discounted rate of the ARV? I don't get it.
Well, did you ever read in the Bible where it was talking about manna coming from heaven?
Yeah.
This is your manna coming from heaven.
Oh, yeah.
This is your deal that's dropping out from heaven for you.
Yeah, but that, okay.
I'm kidding, Candace.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. She's like, what are you talking about?
It does not sit well. I don't understand it at all.
Okay. Well, there's a few things that could be going on, Candace. And what I like to do is when I'm talking to these folks, I like to ask them a lot of questions, you guys. So key thing is, write this down, you guys, is ask a lot of questions, because the person that is asking the most questions is the person that is in control of the conversation. Okay. That's number one. You never want to let the seller have control of the conversation. Number two, this guy, he could have bought the property outright, right? And maybe he owns the building company. And how you doing, Jonte? All right. Hi, Jonte. Or he could have got some type of financing for it. He could have got some type of government grant to build up the property. Whatever could have happened. All right. Jonte says, yo. And that's why he doesn't owe anything on the property, right? So that's the answer to that question. But I mean, obviously, don't be afraid to ask them. Wow. So you're getting the house built up and you don't owe anything about it? What's the story behind that?
Right.
No,
yeah.
And secondly, why would he be willing to sell it at a discount price? That's actually the biggest question in my head. And Greg, what do you think? I see him shaking his head over there.
I'm thinking there's either something wrong with the property, something wrong with the location, or like he said on the message that he left, he's looking to just basically entertain offers. So I'm thinking lesson 4, just lowball him, because he won't tell us what he might want for the property. So, okay, 30 cents on the dollar per square foot. And of course that wouldn't be fair to him, or it'd be fair in my eyes, but it'll get him to throw out a number, hopefully. But other than that, I'm thinking there's something may be wrong with the property.
Yeah. I planned on calling them tomorrow. I didn't want to, he kept saying he wanted to finish talking today and he didn't mind talking. And, I have no issues with speaking with anybody, but I wanted to kind of get my head around it first and see if we needed to run comps or whatever, just before I talked to him. But I was scratching my head so much over this. I didn't even know where to begin, because like I said, I was originally just going to call him back and just say, hey, we can't do anything for you. And then when I went and saw the house and I'm like, it's not framed. And he's like, oh, well, they're about to do the inspection and it should be done April, mid-May. I'm just like, is it going to pass inspection? Maybe something's wrong with the house.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, realistically, I don't think anything is going to be wrong with the house. How you doing, Hassan Pate? I don't think that anything's going to be wrong with the house, Candace and Greg, just because it is new. Okay. I think he's just entertaining offers. And so Greg, you are on the right angle when you said just give him a lowball offer and see where he goes from there. Okay.
Okay.
So a lot of times people in negotiations, they already have a number in their head. Okay. Do you guys agree with that? That anytime somebody wants to sell their house, they already have a number in their head?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so a lot of times they don't want to communicate what that number is for obvious reasons. Okay. And so if you come at them with a lowball offer, like let's say you get it to them, like give them an offer that's 30% of the ARV, right? They're going to be like, oh, no, I can't do that. Okay, I can't take that amount of money for the property. Okay. And then that's where you come in and you say, okay, understand, where are we going to meet at? You tell me. What's the lowest that you can take, which is going to make this a fair offer? It's going to make this a win-win solution. And then at that point, they're going to get real.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, beyond that, Candace, Greg, it's probably not going to be a deal that you do a wholesale on, obviously.
Yeah.
But you never know. Okay. You never know. So you only know when you ask him.
Exactly.
Very true.
And then the other thing I found out, I don't know if it's true, I just heard from one realtor, for our referral fee, she said that if you're not licensed, the only thing that they can give you is $25, but she can give her clients $200 gift cards, and we could like be her client, but you can't get anything more than that because she could lose her license.
No. How did you tell her about it? Did you say that it's a marketing fee?
No. So I asked her, just in exchange for me asking her to run comps, if I didn't, actually end up selling the house for wholesale, I would give her the lead if she'd be willing to do that. And then she said, yeah, she'd be willing to do that, but she just didn't want to lose her license. So she was like, legally, I guess on paper, she could just write down the $25, but she can give like a gift card. So,
yeah. And that's where you got to communicate it. So that's where you got to use the right words, Candace. So basically ask her, hey, you tell her that this is a marketing fee. Okay. Marketing fees, you can give that to the people that are non-agents. Okay. Now commissions, yeah, she can't share commissions with you because you're not an agent. Okay.
That's what she was saying. Yeah.
Okay. But this is not a commission. This is a marketing fee. So this is and write this down. This is a conditional marketing fee. Okay. So if you close on this deal, I paid money to get this lead out to you. Okay. And so you are paying me a fee for closing on this lead that you paid me marketing for it. Okay. Awesome. And then if she says, oh, well, I can't pay marketing fees. Yeah, you can. Do you pay marketing fees to do some of your agents pay marketing fees to Zillow or to ZBuyer or to other lead sources? Yeah, they do that all the time. So very important, you guys. Call it, when you're dealing with realtors, agents, you call it a marketing fee. Never call it a commission, because she is right. She could get in trouble and lose her license or get it suspended.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And let me get to the chats. I see a few people in the chats. Adrian says everything is okay, not as far as along as I would like. Got stuck on the phone numbers, website setup, but only one. Is he asking you for a deposit, Candace? Adrian asked, was he asking you for deposit, Candace?
No, he wasn't.
No? Okay. So, so you're stuck on the phone numbers and the website is set up. So where are you getting stuck at, Adrian, on the Google Voice? Let me know. And Jonte said, yo. Okay. And we'll give Adrian a moment to type it out. And the person that's calling from 267 area code, who are you, please?
It's Hassan.
Who is it?
Hassan.
Hassan?
Yeah.
Okay, how you doing, Hassan?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Doing good, doing good. Just had to make sure nobody was trying to sneak in our little party.
Oh no, no. No, I was having trouble with the webinar, so I called in.
No problem. Okay, cool deal. Okay, say miss you, says Alicia. Google Voice says I cannot connect my phone. Alicia, are you able to come on the audio?
Yes.
Okay, so what exactly is going on with your Google Voice, Alicia?
Well, I had initially set it up. I set up two, but it was like something I did previously, like a year ago. And I don't know if it's an issue because I already have two connected. But when I try to go back and delete those and try to set new ones up, I couldn't. So it says that I cannot connect. I try to reach out to Google, but unfortunately, there's no actual number that you can call. You have to email. I sent emails, but I haven't really gotten any response back yet. So I'm just waiting. But I think I'm gonna go with Sideline for now and do the $9 a month. What's it called, Vumber?
Yeah. Vumber is really, really good. It's really, really easy to set up. I set up two numbers in like 25 minutes. So I had never used Vumber before, and I was just looking for different solutions that I could offer students. And Vumber is really, really easy to set up. Yeah, so with Google, because it is a free service, their customer service is going to suck. They're not going to contact you back. If you send them an email, it's going to go to email hell. So, or purgatory. So don't expect anything back. So when you're setting it up, was it giving you an issue where you could not set it up to ring to your cell phone number? Is that what the issue was?
So it went all the way to the option to select my new number, and then when I try to connect, it says unable to connect to this phone. So I guess it's because there were other numbers connected to it. I'm not really sure, but as of right now, I don't have any Google Voice numbers to put on my bandit signs, and they'll be here via FedEx probably in about a day or so.
Boom! That's what I'm talking about. Good job, Alicia.
Thank you.
Can you give me a screen fist bump? That's what I'm talking about, girl. All right, cool. So, hello, little Alicia. I like your little daughter. So, what you can do is there should be a way that you can clear out your number, your cell phone number, from being attached to the old Google Voice number. Because I know that a lot of times I've had my personal cell phone number attached to a Google Voice number, right, Alicia? And if I try to set up a new Google Voice number, it wouldn't allow me. But what it would do is it will always give me an option. It will say that, hey, this phone number is attached to another Google Voice account. Do you want to detach it from that account? And I would always say yes. Was it not giving you that option?
Yeah, I did that, and then it sent the email to my personal email, that someone else has claimed my Google Voice. But it was me on my business emails trying to claim the number, and I don't really understand what's going on, but I'm going to definitely figure it out.
Okay. So were you using an old Gmail account that you had previously set up to try to set up a new Google Voice number, or did you?
No, I was setting up new emails for my business, and I was trying to connect new Google Voice numbers to my phone, but I had old personal emails with Google Voice numbers already connected to my phone. And when I tried to connect them, I had to disconnect from the old personal numbers and get new numbers, but it was telling me that I needed to disconnect. So I did that, but it won't let me anymore. So right now I have no numbers.
Okay, that's pretty odd. Do you have other phone numbers, or like a landline, or use somebody else's phone number to get it set up? That's what I would do.
All right.
Does that make sense? So like
landlines, though. I just have my one cell phone.
Okay, so you got landline, yeah?
I do not have a landline.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Yeah. So I mean, get with a friend or family member, Alicia, and use their phone number to set up the new Google Voice accounts. And then once that account has been set up, you can go ahead and detach their phone number from there.
All right.
Okay. Does everybody know how to detach their phone number from their Google Voice accounts? I see Candace and Greg saying, yeah. Okay.
I sent her a message saying we can help her with it because we had that same issue.
Mm-hmm.
And that email that she got is actually a good sign. You want them to say it's connected to something else. And like he was saying, go ahead and disconnect it from that other account. Man, we got like 5 or 6 numbers right now. It's crazy. Like 3 for the bandit signs in the areas we know they're not supposed to be. And then the other side, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But we can help you like through Facebook if you want.
Well, I'm definitely trying to be like you guys with 5 or 6 numbers. So
okay.
Hey, you guys are better than me. Like once I got to 4 Google Voice numbers and 4 different accounts, I said this is for the birds. I paid for my phone numbers after that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, the way our bank account is set up right now, we got to get on your level.
Right. All right. Well, do you guys real quickly want me to do a screenshot of Google Voice? Like,
yeah,
would that work? Okay. Let me read Adrian's response because I know she typed it out here. Okay. Bridget Cummings said that she was having the same problem as well. Y'all having some Google Voice issues. Usually Google Voice is nice and easy to set up. Okay, Adrian said set up the email and assign this to the buyers, but probably need to do Vumber for the buyer and seller bandit signs. Bridget said I tried to connect 3 accounts to 1 phone number and it will not connect the last number. Candace typed in, same thing happened with us, Alicia, but we got it to work. It's good that you got that email. Okay. Oh, you already said that, Candace. Please explain. Okay, so yeah, let me try and switch this out and try and share my screen. Give me 1 second. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Give me 1 moment.
I'm gonna go.
Okay, so when you guys go on here, and they actually changed up the settings. When you guys go on here, you'll go down to the side and you'll click on settings. Okay, and then let's see, for calls. 1 moment. And let me look at this thing real quick for a second, you guys. They actually changed up the settings about a month ago.
Okay.
So it's different from how they used to have it.
Hey Daniel, you'll have to go to legacy view to view it how it used to be. Like when
really?
I was trying to connect my numbers or connect the different numbers, I wasn't able to find it with the new setup that they have. You have to go to legacy view.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I see it right here. I see it right here. Thank you much. Okay, so let's see. Did everybody get that? Did everybody see what I just did?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm actually on my Google Voice right now. I'm trying to go through the steps in a way.
Okay, cool. Okay, so whenever you set up a phone number, usually like when you set up a Google Voice number, you always have to set it up on your personal cell phone number or a landline or some other phone number that's a real phone number. Okay, and then usually what's going to happen is your phone number is going to be like right here. Okay, does everybody see where my arrow's at? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys, speak to me if I ask questions. I can't see you nod because I can't even see your faces. All I see is my screen. So like your phone number will be like right here where the arrow's at, okay? And then what you're going to do is pretend like this is my personal cell phone number, right? I'm going to unselect it, right? So I'm just going to unselect it. And then like I'm going to be able to use that cell phone number to connect to another Google Voice number. Okay. Now, you always want your calls to be forwarded to Google Chat. Okay. Does everybody follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Let's see.
Now, you're also going to, let's see, you're also going to go to calls, okay? And then on call screening, you're going to want to make sure that it is off because you don't want people to call and it says, please announce yourself, okay? People will, I think it says like, please state your name. And Google Voice will try to connect you to the person you're trying to call, okay? You want that to be off. Caller ID, you can leave that alone. Very important, do not disturb. You do want to enable this, okay? Because what this is going to allow you to do is when people call your number, it's going to go straight to voicemail. Okay? Does everybody follow me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. And you can check missed calls if you'd like. That's actually a good thing to check because a lot of times people will call and they will not leave a message. Okay. Groups, you don't need to do nothing with that. Billing, you don't need to do nothing with that. Accounts, you don't need to do anything with that. Okay. Does anybody want to hear what my voice greeting sounds like?
Yes.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me log into my other accounts. Yeah, I got 10 million accounts just like you guys do, Candace and Greg. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go to Vumber. Let you guys hear what I got going on there. Has anybody set up Vumber?
Yes.
No.
No,
Okay.
we haven't.
Yes.
Got it. To the lady that said yes,
Shannon.
Shannon. All right. How do you like Vumber?
I set it up today. I tested it a couple of times. I really like it. The only problem I did have in setting it up was it really didn't have local numbers for North Carolina. It had 800 numbers, so I opted to do 2 800 numbers versus something that was going to be in either South Carolina or it was putting me out a little far, so I didn't want to have some numbers that would be recognized by the local areas out of state because they would recognize those those codes, and so I just opted for two 800 numbers. I do have the 2 Google numbers set up. I'm using an old one that I set up for wholesaling before, and then also it allowed me to do one today. So I'm having the same issues that everyone else was having. So I'm kind of learning from what you're showing a way to maybe get around that. So I do have 4 numbers in all at this point though. So I'm not lacking, but I still want to know how to acquire additional numbers for the future.
Okay, got it. So on that, Shannon, I don't really want you to have 800 numbers.
Okay.
And I apologize for that. I should have stated that. Do you know why I'm saying that?
Not really. I guess I assumed that makes it seem like you're not local. And I get that, but I couldn't find, like I said, with Vomber, I wasn't able to find a local number that would be within range. It was giving me like Spartanburg, the closest thing was like Spartanburg, South Carolina, and some other counties far out in North Carolina. So that's why I opted for that. Because like I said, I recognize the area codes right away as being way out. So I figured if I put them on bandit signs, then the people that see it would assume that I wasn't local. And I know 800 numbers gives that perspective as well, but I thought, well, with an 800 number, it may appear free. They may call it I don't know what the outcome is gonna be by using those. By using Vomber, I was a little bit in a rock or a hard place. So I opted for the 800s.
Okay, good deal, good deal. And yeah, and I mean, I definitely understand where you're coming from, Shannon. Because yeah, it's better for you to have a 800 number than nothing. Now, the area that you live in, is it a rural area or is there like a big city?
No, I'm like 30 minutes outside of Charlotte.
Really?
Charlotte, North Carolina. But when I tried to find numbers, it just was not bringing them up. And then, so I put North Carolina first, and then I put in South Carolina, and it gave me over the state line, Spartanburg, which is about 45 minutes from me. So, I mean, that might have been an option, but when I was in the middle of setting it up and you're kind of stuck, you just kind of find your way out, and I found it by just doing the 800s. Now I think I can change them. I think what I saw when it said if you want to change them seemed like it was like a $10 fee to change the 800 numbers. So I may try to look for something maybe around or surrounding the counties, but at this point, that's all I could get out of that. Now, some people may not have that issue, but that's the issue I came into when I was trying to set mine up.
Okay, got it. Okay, so can everybody still see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah?
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, no.
Can you see my computer screen?
I can see you.
We see
Not
you.
the screen.
Okay, cool. So give me 1 second. I'm actually trying to find my login for Vumber. I didn't want y'all seeing all my emails, so I wanted to make sure that y'all couldn't see it. Give me one moment, you guys. So I'm really, really glad that we all are having this conversation because I want to make sure that you guys have everything set up and no problems. So I'm actually.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
This is Bridget. The default voicemail greeting, it says system standard. It's no other option. So why is that on Google Voice?
It'll allow you to record a new voicemail greeting.
Yeah.
So what I had to do with the third number, I connected it to my daughter's phone, but I just disconnected the actual number and have it go into my email. But do I need to have her phone to do the voice recording?
Yeah, you definitely can record it on the phone, Bridget. I think there may be an option to record it. Actually, no, there's no options to record it on your computer. So yeah, you gotta have it ring to a phone, and then you can record it.
Okay, well, she's in DC, so then I probably can't use her number then.
So get somebody else's phone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so get a friend or family member, get the person that's walking outside your house.
Okay.
Steal their cell phone. So yeah, because you can attach their phone number to your Google Voice account temporarily, Bridget, and then just set up your voicemail greeting through their phone, and then you can just detach it.
Okay.
Give me 1 second, you guys. I'm still looking for my log into Vumber.
When I set up this is Shannon again. When I set up the Vumber, it required me to do the voicemail recording through the phone that I set up the account with. It wouldn't let me do it with anything else. So the original number that I used, I had to dial the new number. And once I dialed the new number, then it allowed me to do the recording through the phone that I originally started with.
Okay. Say that one more time, please.
The phone that I set up the account with, it basically makes you have to use, it tells you that you have to use that particular phone in order to dial back into the Vumber number, and it will ring your phone and allow you to do the voice recording on that phone. So my cell phone, I dialed the Vumber number, it rung my cell phone in my hand, and then I was able to do the recording on my cell phone. And once I hit confirm, then it accepted the recording onto the site, and I was able to click the button on the site and listen to the message to make sure that it was recorded correctly.
Yeah, that's the way it does it. And matter of fact, I got into my Vumber account, so give me 1 second. I'll share my screen with y'all. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, so let's see. When you log onto here, it's really easy to get things set up. This is the control panel. Let's see, go to accounts. Okay, and actually, let me. Who was it that was having an issue with the Charlotte number? Was that you, Shannon?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can solve that first.
Okay.
So let me log out here. And let's just type in Vumber.com. Let's pretend like I'm new. Choose your new Vumber. Okay. And so you went to this exact screen,
Yeah.
Shannon, and it was acting like a fool.
Yes, it was.
Okay. And none of these area codes?
None of them.
Local? That is terrible.
Yeah. So I thought, well, I'll do South Carolina. Like I said, the closest thing on there was like Raleigh and some others. And then I did South Carolina, and it gave me Spartanburg, which is about 45 minutes away, but it didn't give me anything really close. I was surprised it didn't have Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm very surprised too, because I mean, Charlotte is a big city. So,
right. Right. I was definitely surprised.
Okay. I'm actually looking at another site called Freedom Voice.
Okay.
And I have not personally used this one, but I've heard positive things from other folks who have used it.
Okay.
I've used Ring Central before in the past, but it's a difficult setup. So I don't want to recommend that to you.
Okay.
So I'm just going to see if it will. Okay, so allow us to choose a number. Local. And what area code is Charlotte? I mean, your area.
I can give you two. Let's see. Hold on. I think it's 28. Let's see. I'll just give you mine. I'm not too far out. 28086.
Well, your area code, your three-digit digit area code.
Oh, area code. I'm sorry. 704.
704. Okay. Hey, Shannon. I was like, you don't know your area code? I was like,
No,
come on.
Look, it's what, about 9:30 here.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Okay, so let's search. Bam, here you go.
Oh yeah.
You got a bunch of numbers up here that are 704 for you.
Nice.
So yeah, so you can go to
Can you try another one too that's familiar for it would be 980.
Bam.
Yeah, that's better right there. So that's closer to my Google numbers. So
Okay.
So yeah, that might be a better option. Freedom Voice.
Yeah, freedomvoice.com.
Okay.
And if anybody else is having any issues with Vumber or Google Voice, go to freedomvoice.com. Don't ask me how to set it up, Freedom Voice, because obviously I haven't set it up before. There's going to be probably YouTube videos which will give you an explanation on how to get it set up.
Okay.
And because you're paying for it, they'll help you. So if you're using a free solution like Google, then they're not going to help you. So that's what one other person found out earlier on. So, okay, so I showed you that. Let me play my voicemail greeting for you guys. Give me one moment. Let me X this out.
So you want to do more quiz banks, or what do you want to do?
Let's go to settings.
Really? So how you feel? Like. What did I like?
Okay, so this is taking a long time, so I don't want to waste time. I'm just going to call it and put it on speakerphone.
Hi, you reached Daniel White, paying cash for homes in any condition and any area of the Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and the Henderson area. If you have a property that you'd like to sell for cash, please fully state your name, the address of the property you're thinking of selling, and how much would be a fit for your property. And I will call you back within 24 hours. Thanks much, and here goes that song.
Cool.
Yeah, I want to sell you a house, 10 cents on the dollar. Call me now. 555-5555.
What was that, a microphone? Was that like a silver microphone over there, like the plated microphone?
Oh yes.
Platinum.
The last 2 hours.
Oh man.
No, she was like, was that a gold-plated mic? You over there, Daniel? No, it's just regular metal. It's called a Blue Yeti microphone. It's top of the line mics. Get it for $80, and attach it to your computer, and it's top notch.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So Daniel, what about the for the buyers? So the should we do a message as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was done. Do you
Okay.
have one that we can hear?
I do. I have a. I'll pop it in the Facebook group. I actually have a screenshot of the message that you should. Okay, and it's basically going to say something to the effect of if you're doing. You have two types of voicemail greetings for buyers. Okay. You have the voicemail greeting that you leave for people that you made Phantom Bandit signs for. And then you have a phone number for regular cash buyers that are calling you, right? And so for the Phantom Bandit signs, when people call you, you're just going to say, hey, you've reached Daniel. I'm not available. Please leave your name and your number after the tone. If you're calling about the property, please leave your actually, let me start over again. For the rewind. So for the Phantom Bandit signs, you're going to put down, hi, you've reached Daniel. And if you're calling about the house that I have for sale, it's a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom property, and I'm selling it for $19,500. I need to sell it quick. Please leave your name and your phone number after the tone, and I will call you back as soon as possible. And then that's pretty much it. Okay. You want to pretty much sound like you are just an average Joe that's trying to sell your house fast. Okay. Shannon?
Yeah. And what about the people who kind of are hip to that game? Because I've had people say, well, is this a Phantom Bandit sign?
Somebody actually asked you, is this a Phantom Bandit sign?
Yeah, I have, like when I was in California.
Okay. You know what I will say? I like to, whenever I'm caught with my pants down, I like to answer a question with a question.
Huh?
So I would say, so ask me that question, Shannon.
This is Bridget.
Bridget, sorry.
Yeah, is this a Phantom Bandit sign?
I don't know. What is a Phantom Bandit sign? Is that like a ghost or something? Like Casper or something?
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay. Say that?
You don't know what to say. Look, anytime you guys can answer a question with a question, then that puts the other person at table where they need to come up with the answer, okay? And it gives you time to recollect your thoughts, all right? So anytime somebody asks you something and you're like, oh, snap, I don't know what to say next, you ask them a question, okay? Seriously, like ask me another question. Anybody.
Do you have your real estate license?
Real estate license? Do you have one?
No, I do not.
You don't? How come you don't have a real estate license? So now, in this instance, if somebody did ask me about a real estate license, I would say no, I don't.
Are you a wholesaler?
Am I a wholesaler? Is that, would you love me if I was a wholesaler?
I guess.
You would? Let's do business. Ask me one more question, and then we'll go on. Or just look at me in silence.
Do you know what you're doing?
Oh, you want me to ask you another question?
Anybody.
Do you know what you're doing?
You know what? My wife asked me that same question the other day, and I couldn't answer her. Does your husband ask you that question?
Every day.
Every day. How does that make you feel?
Like I need to think about if I know what I'm doing.
I know it's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
He took over the conversation.
I know.
And so you guys can have fun with it, but anytime somebody does ask you a question which throws you for a loop, just ask them a question back. Okay. Obviously, if it's something that you can answer, then answer it. Okay. But just try to get in the mode of asking questions. Okay. To answer the rest of Shannon's questions about the buyer voicemail greeting, if you have a regular buyer thing, and give me 1 second, you guys, I'm gonna mute everybody. Okay, so you guys, when you have a regular buyer's line, and let's say you're going to the RIA meeting, let's say you're meeting cash buyers at the properties that you have under contract, okay? Let's say you're advertising a property for sale, right? So let's say, Candace, Greg, you guys locked up this sweet, awesome 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom property in El Paso, and you locked it up for $20,000, okay? And it's a steal of a deal. And you're going to sell it for $30,000, okay? So what you would do is you're going to have and I'm going to confuse you guys even more, okay? And I apologize for this, but I promise you I'm going somewhere. So for your phone number that you have on your business cards for buyers, okay, you're going to say something to the effect of, "Hi, you've reached Candace with Swindell Properties LLC. I find property deals all over El Paso for cents on the dollar. If you're looking for a house deal, please leave your name and your phone number and the address of the property that you are looking at, and I will contact you back as soon as possible." Okay, that's what you will leave for your regular generic buyer's voicemail greeting. Okay, now I like to take it a step further. Whenever I get properties under contract, okay, I will get another phone number for it, okay? And I will use one phone number for one property, okay? So let's say I have 3 properties under contract. I'm using 3 phone numbers when I'm selling that property, okay? Is everybody with me? Shake your head. All right, good. So let's say I have a property at 1890 West Horizon Ridge Parkway in Henderson, Nevada. Okay. So I'm going to record a greeting that says something to the effect of, "Hi, you've reached Daniel, and I have a house for sale that is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom property at 1270 Horizon Ridge Parkway in Henderson. I need to get it sold fast for cash. I'm asking $30,000. I'm asking $80,000 for this property. Need to get it sold quickly. If you would like to look at it, please leave your name and your phone number after the tone, and I will contact you back as soon as possible." Beep. Okay. And I'm going to do that for every single property. Okay. Now, I apologize if that I confuse you guys with telling you guys to get more phone numbers, but that's just how I do it. Okay. That's how I personally do it. Do you guys need to get separate phone numbers for each and every single property you get on the contract? You do not. Okay. You can use your regular generic buyer's phone line for all your properties if you'd like. Okay. But I just found that it works out better for me if I use one phone line for one property. Okay. Does that make sense, you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a quick question, Daniel. I actually ran into somebody that used to kind of, I guess she had a real estate company at my daughter's gymnastics the other day. And I was talking to her and I was kind of telling her, you know, what I wanted to get into and things like that. And she was like, "Well, how are you gonna show the house if you don't have your real estate license? Because every time you market the house, you have to have your license. But what ways do we go about showing a property without being caught in between the thin line of being a real estate agent? I'm not trying to break any laws.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up. Excuse me one second. I'm gonna mute everybody except you and me, Alicia. If I could find it. Oh, okay, good, cool. Whoever was being noisy got quiet. Okay, at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're not marketing a property, okay? You are marketing the interest that you have in the property, okay? That's what you're selling, is the interest that you have in that property, okay?
You're selling a contract.
You're selling a contract, exactly, okay? That's legal for you to do, all right? Beyond that, you have a contract that's signed with the seller, and that's called in 50 states plus DC, it's called equitable interest, all right? If you have equitable interest in a property, then you can sell it as your own, okay? Because you are purchasing it for yourself. You just have an option to assign it if you want. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Yeah.
So now, if I'm selling my own property, the house that I live in right now, I can do it by myself without a real estate license, right? Because I own it, right?
Right.
But I can't go to you, Alicia, if you have a property you're trying to sell, right? You're trying to sell your house. I can't be like, hey, I'm going to sell Alicia's property because I'm not a real estate agent in Georgia, okay? So, but if I get it under contract from you, then I can do that, all right? So that's why it's very, very important. And, I see people do this all the time and they're doing it wrong. They'll try and JV on properties and they don't have any type of contract on it whatsoever, right? That'll get them in trouble with the real estate commission, like, quickly, all right?
Right, okay. So, yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to go to the chat message. Let's see. Jonathan said, what about a 704 or 980 number? Okay, and you just saw what we did with Vumber. Adrian said, would you give out the address if a property is occupied? Great. People do drive-bys, and as we know, not everyone is honest. Like when you say drive-by, you mean like drive-by and or just like driving by the property and. But let me answer the first question while let me answer your first question while you delve deeper into your second part of your question, Adrian. So she said, driving by the property, of course, Daniel, laugh out loud. So if the property is occupied, what I like to do is in my advertisements, you guys, I'm going to put down, do not contact the seller. I'm sorry, do not contact the tenants because the property is occupied. Okay, that's what I will put down on my advertisements. Okay, now Adrian brought a good point. She's basically stating, okay, what if I put the property address in my advertisement and somebody drives by the property and they start talking to the person that's living in the property? And I believe that's what she's insinuating, okay? What if they start talking to the people that live in there and they try to circumvent me, okay? And if you are nervous about that, then what you can do is you can just give people the cross streets, okay? Or you can just give people the zip code, okay? You can just say, hey, this is on Smith Street in 89128 area code. Zip code, okay? I've never had any problems with giving out the addresses, you guys. So I always give out the addresses. If there's a tenant in there, then I'm just gonna state there's a tenant in there. Do not disturb them, and people are gonna honor that, okay? Very rarely do I have a property that I sell where the owner still lives in there. But even if I do, what I will do is I'll go to the extent if I think that somebody may potentially circumvent me, if I'm going to be potentially making a lot of money on a property, let's say I'm going to be making $10,000 plus on a property, what I'll do is I'll do two things, okay? Number one, what you can do is you can get the property sales agreement that you have signed with the seller, get it notarized by a mobile notary. Okay. You can find a mobile notary on Google, pay them like $30 or $40, and they'll come by the house and they'll notarize your signature. They'll notarize the seller's signature. And now you have a contract which nobody can state at a future date that, hey, you forged the seller's signature. Okay. Does everybody understand why I did that? Okay. And if you don't understand why I did that, the reason is just in case the seller tries to act fishy with you and not honor their contract, then if you do have to go to court, you have proof that, hey, I signed it and that seller signed it. All right. Now, number two, what you can do is you can file what is called a memorandum of contract with the city. And I'm sorry, it's not going to be with the city. It's going to be at the county courthouse in the land records department. And what that's going to state is that there's a pending contract on that property. So if the seller tries to circumvent you and go with another buyer and they try to get a clean title, then it's not going to happen, okay? Because your stuff is going to pop up. It's going to say, hey, Alicia bought this property, or Greg Swindle bought this property, or Bridget Cummings is in the process of buying this property, okay? So that's what you can do to safeguard yourself, Adrian, in case you're scared that somebody will circumvent you. So did that answer your question, Adrian? Because I've never hidden the address of a property that I have under contract, and I know that some people do that. I personally don't do that, but because I feel like if I had to hide the address of the property, then I mean, why is somebody going to buy? Why is somebody going to spend $80,000 or $100,000, $50,000 on a property, and I'm hiding it? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you guys? So like, I feel like I'm not going to get as good of a response. I'm not going to be able to move the property quickly if I'm not providing the address. So, but those are ways that you guys can safeguard yourself. So record at the courthouse. Should we file the same day? If you're saying, should you file the memorandum of contract the same day? Yeah, the sooner the better. The sooner the better. Okay. You don't need to file a memorandum of contract with every property, because that will be very time consuming. Okay. But do that on properties where you're going to be making a bunch of money. So let's say you got a killer deal. You're going to be making $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000. Okay. Get it notarized and file a memorandum of contract to help yourself. All right. Alicia says, when doing a double close, you first close with the seller. What if you do not have the funds to close with the seller? Is a double close not an option? Okay. And so with a double close, you do a double close, you guys, if you're doing a deal for $10,000 plus. Okay. Reason why you do that is a lot of times your end buyers are not going to like the fact that you're making so much money. Okay. Because they're going to have this figure in their head like, okay, I'm fine if Alicia is making 3,000, or I'm fine if Bridget's making 5,000. I'm fine if Candace is making 7,000. Okay. But if they see that you're making $20,000, oh my God, that's too much money. All you're doing is selling me a contract. Okay. That's where people start to get greedy. All right. And so when you do a double close, that is going to hide the amount of money that you are making. All right. And so what some title companies will do is you can do a double close and then just pay a little bit of extra money. And if you're in good with the title agents, then a lot of times they'll go ahead and close each side of the HUD and keep it separate. Okay. They'll do a double escrow where the buyer does not see how much money you're making. Okay. I've done that a few times out here in Las Vegas. Now, 90% of the time, well, actually 95% of the time, you're going to have funds. Okay. And so what you're going to do is you're going to use transactional funds. Okay. So write that out. You're going to use transactional funds, and you can get transactional funds from pretty much anywhere. You can Google it. If you need help finding transactional funds in your state, get at me. And typically, and let me tell you what transactional funds are going to do. All right. So let's say you have and give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get the whiteboard screen on here. Is it based on credit to do the funding? No, it's not. Yay. You can have the worst credit and you're good to go. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? Yes? No?
You can see it.
All right. So let's say you have with the seller. That was a loud yawn. So with the seller, you need to pay them
In the new book, it says
$50,000, okay?
it says
And give me 1 second. I'm gonna mute everybody again.
so what the fuck?
All right. Cool. So with the seller, get off my screen. Sorry, you guys. Let me move this webinar stuff off my screen so I can type. All right, cool. So with the seller, you need to pay them $50,000, okay? And so what you're going to do is you're going to find a transactional lender. They do not require you to do a credit report. They're typically going to charge you anywhere between $1,000, well, actually about $1,500 to $3,000 plus for using their service. Okay. But at the end of the day, it's worth it. If you're closing a deal, Alicia said, wow. And look, at the end of the day, it is worth it. If you're making, let's say, a $30,000 wholesale assignment fee, okay, that's big money. If you're making $80,000 as a wholesale assignment fee, okay, that's big, huge money. Okay. This is basically insurance that you get paid and that nobody gets pissed off at you. Okay. So if you pay $3,000 to ensure that you get a $25,000 deal done, is it worth it to you? And just type in your chat box, yes or no. All right, everybody's saying yes. Okay, it's definitely worth it. Okay, so that's why you do it. You do double closes on deals where you make 10K plus. Okay, so what's going to happen with the lender? Lender is going to lend you $50,000 for 1 day to pay the first HUD, okay? And that's the A to B transaction between you and the seller. So the seller is A and then you are B. Okay? And once that HUD has been closed, let me try and position this right here. Okay. So once the seller has been paid her $50,000, the first HUD has been completed. So now that that HUD is closed, the first close has been done. The second close will happen, and then that is going to be your second HUD, or the B to C transaction between you and the seller. You are B and the seller is C. I'm sorry, you and the buyer, okay? Between you and the buyer. So you are B and the seller is C, okay? The seller is going to pay, I'm sorry, the buyer is going to pay $75,000, okay? And once the buyer has paid that $75,000, $50,000 plus $2,000 interest goes to repay the transactional lender. Okay, so that's a total of $52,000. And you're going to be left with a balance of $23,000. Okay, $23,000 is going to be left over, and that goes to you. Okay. Now, anytime you do this, is typically a one-day loan, and that's why transactional lenders don't require that you run a credit check. Okay, because as long as you have an end buyer who has signed a contract and they actually have their funds with a title company and it's going to transfer, then a transactional lender is going to feel comfortable giving you the money because they know that they're going to get their money. Does that make sense to everybody? And Bridget says yes. And Alicia says this happens within a short time frame. Could it be possible that a buyer backs out after you close the HUD with the seller? And that's why there's a contract in place, you guys, with the buyer. Okay, so the buyer is going to close within a certain date. Okay, and so the buyer is signing contracts with the title company. All right, which basically, if they do back out, they're past that point where they're just losing the earnest money deposit. Okay, if they do back out of the deal, which they could do, then we're talking lawsuits. Okay, and when we're talking lawsuits, they're going to be forced to come up with the money that they promised contractually that they're going to pay. Adrian says, but that's a great question that you had. Adrian asks, yes, has he used a different exit strategy? Should your end buyer back out? All right, and you asked the same question. And look, if you're not doing a double close, you guys, if you're doing, let's say, a regular assignment fee and a buyer does want to back out, if a buyer is backing out for any reason besides the title not coming back clean, they're losing their earnest money deposit. Okay, so they have paid you $1,000 plus for an earnest money deposit, and that's non-refundable. Okay, so if they don't give you the come through with their promise, then they're losing their $1,000 or $2,000 earnest money deposit, whatever it is they paid you. Okay. Now it's very, very important, you guys, that the closing date that you have with the seller always comes at a later date than the closing date that you have with the buyer. Okay. And does anybody know why? And let me unmute you guys. All right, go ahead, you guys. Does anybody know why the closing date with the buyer should happen sooner than the closing date with the seller?
I'm not sure, but I would give.
so that you make sure.
Wait a minute. You said why should the closing date with the buyer be sooner than the seller?
Yep, on the contract.
Make sure they get their funds together as quick as possible.
What did you say, Alicia?
Make sure they get their funds together as quick as possible.
All right, that's actually a good answer, but
and you don't want the buyer to know how much the seller is actually giving you the property for.
That's a good answer, but the reason why you want the closing date with the buyer to happen before the closing date with the seller on the contract is you're going to sign. If you sign an assignment contract with the buyer, right, and that contract states that they have until March 20th to close, okay, then they have till March 20th to close. But if you have a contract with the seller that says you need to close by March 15th, okay, what's going to happen is come March 15th, technically the buyer does not have to close. Okay, the buyer can wait till the 16th, the 17th, or the 18th after your original contract with the seller has expired. Okay.
Circumvention.
Circumvention, exactly. Okay, because what's going to happen is the buyer is always going to get if you're not doing a double close, the buyer is going to get a copy of your original contract that you have with the seller. Okay. And so they're going to know what the closing date is, okay? Mm-hmm. And that happened to me once on a deal where the buyer intentionally tried to circumvent me doing that, okay? So you need to always make sure that the closing date with the buyer comes sooner than the closing date with the seller, okay? And then also, if a buyer flakes out on you, you want to be able to have the time and the opportunity and the chance to find another buyer, right? Because sometimes buyers will flake out on you. All right. So you always want to give yourself a chance to find another buyer if that happens. Okay.
Can you also enter into the contract that the buyer cannot try to purchase the property for 90 days after you all exit the contract or something?
Yeah. You can file. You can put that in your assignment contract if you like, and that that's actually a good idea that I could probably put in the assignment contract actually. And you guys, I'm gonna mute you guys so that I can get my train of thought lined up. All right, and that's really good. I'm actually going to make myself a note and put that in my assignment contract that the buyer can't circumvent or buy a property within 90 days of the assignment contract being signed. But actually, now that I think of it, I'm not going to put it in there now that I think of it, okay? Because at the end of the day, you guys, if a person wants to circumvent you, they're going to circumvent you, okay? So if I'm your cash buyer, right, and you give me a contract, and you make me sign, let's say, a non-compete or a non-disclosure agreement, right? I can easily go to my wife and have my wife circumvent you because she didn't sign the contract. Okay. I can go to my boy Steve Thompson, who you don't know that I know, and I can have him circumvent, right? And you'll never know, okay? So at the end of the day, somebody who is unscrupulous and somebody who is a douchebag will always be able to circumvent you if they really want to, okay? So Alicia said, great idea. I'm going to circumvent people like that. No, that's not what she said. She just said, great idea. But look, and I mean, that's just the reality of it, okay? People that do crooked stuff, they are typically, I don't want to say bright, but they think things out, okay? So if somebody really wants to circumvent you, they will, okay? So the best bet to prevent circumvention, you guys, if you're doing a deal like that, is if you're working a big deal that you're making a lot of money, get the contracts notarized and get a a memorandum of contracts with your city, okay? And that will prevent them from circumventing you, okay? So does that make sense to everybody? I'm gonna mute you guys. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so let me unmute you guys. All right. Is there any other question?
Just regarding the website with the SEO. Do you have any other insight on that? Because I know someone who she was getting a lot of leads from that method, I guess, from our website. So that's supposed to drive the track. I mean, that's supposed to create leads as well, right?
Yep, it will. How many leads is she getting approximately each week, and what market is she in?
She is in the Maryland, the DMV market, and she was actually getting a ton of leads to the point where she had to hire people.
I love it. That's a good problem to have, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So give me
Daniel,
1 second. Let's look this up. All right. So we're going to cover that. We're going to cover SEO and YouTube on week 3, I believe it is. Week 3 or week 4. Okay. So I won't go too much into it, but we're going to go over some pretty ninja tactics to help you with that. But we're going to use, number 1, YouTube. And if you guys want to go really, really gung-ho with it, then you can hire a service called thehoff.com. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen real quick with y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Okay, give me 30 seconds. Okay, and while I'm getting this situated, can you guys all see my screen?
No.
No?
We can see you.
Okay, y'all can see me. I can't even see you guys. You guys could be flipping me off, and I wouldn't even see. Please don't flip me off. Okay, so for the second time, I'm not going to bring it up on my screen, but go to thehoff.com, TheHoth.com, and check them out. And they charge like 150 to 200 bucks a month to do SEO for your website. Okay, so that's something that if you want to go really big time into doing, you can get that service to do it. But we're gonna go over some different options here in the next couple weeks on how you can do that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other questions?
Hey Daniel, I'm gonna try to reach out to a real estate agent tomorrow. But what should the conversation be like when I speak to them? Because what I really want is to have access to MLS.
Okay. Was that Candace?
It's Alicia.
Alicia. Okay. So you want to reach out to a realtor and you want to know what type of conversation you should have?
Correct. Because I want to be able for them to give me comps and things like that. Now, is this like a pay arrangement that I have to have with the person? Am I supposed to?
No, you can have and you guys, if you guys have like a TV going on in the background, can you either mute that or mute your phone? So I can't. I lost my screen, so I can't mute you guys. So you have to do it yourself. But Alicia, you can do it any way you see fit. You can get as creative as you want. You can make it a situation where you are just giving them leads and they'll give you comps. Or you can make it a situation where you pay them a little bit of money to do your comps for you. You can make it a situation where you let them know, hey, I'm going to be getting like 30, 40, 50 leads a month. Okay. And a lot of these leads, they're not going to be motivated or they're not going to have enough equity in them. And I'm not going to be able to do anything with it. But you can list it. Okay. And if you list it and if you are able to make money with it, all I would ask is that you give me a marketing fee. Okay. Now, let me explain that. Marketing fee. I know that you can't give commissions out to people that are non-agents, but you can give me a marketing fee because I marketed and gave you leads. Okay. And this is what I would require. Okay. You can say we can do 25% of your profit as my marketing fee. Or you can make it a flat rate. You can make it $1,000, okay, or $500. Or you can make it where it's a graduated flat fee, where it's like, hey, if you sell the property and it's under 200K, then you give me 1,000. If it's from 200 to 300K, you give me 1,300, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Alicia?
Yes, it does. Marketing fee. Not a commission. Got it.
Marketing fee, not a commission, because they will kick and scream like they did with and I forgot who it was, but yeah, if they think that you're talking about commissions, then they're not going to have that. So trust me, they will not have that. And I apologize, you guys. This thing is not coming back up for me. Is there any questions? And if there's any questions that you guys are seeing in the chat box, somebody read it to me.
Have you had any experience with Investor Carrot using that website?
Yeah. So I don't use Investor Carrots. I don't use any of those sites that I recommend because I've been designing websites for the past 17 years. So I design my own, but I've gotten into their interface. It's pretty easy to set up your website with Investor Carrot. The only thing that I don't like about Investor Carrot is everybody and their mama has that site.
The same website. That's exactly what I was saying. I literally have been working on this website for about 3 days now because it's the same website for everybody, and I want mine to be different.
Exactly. And yeah, and that's the thing, like if a seller goes to do a search and they see that 3 people have the exact same website, they're like, okay, well, I don't really trust any one of them. Okay. That's just my opinion. Okay. If you want to see how my website is, it's at 702homebuyers.com. And many of you guys have already seen it before. But obviously, not everybody can design websites. Okay. So I want you guys to use the paid sources that are out there. Now, if you go with the website that we recommend, okay, there's not going to be a lot of people that are using Lead Propeller, okay? So that's the beautiful thing about it. And this is really irking me that I can't bring this software back on board. All right. Any other questions? And is there anybody else who has typed something in the chat? Hey, I see you guys again. Great.
So I see someone, oh no, you already answered that question. Someone was asking what the percentage of the marketing fee was, but then you said you already answered that question. And I thought that the investor carrot was what I was looking into, but we already designed our own website, so that wasn't it. It was that, I think, lead propeller or something pretty much where you know, it was focused on SEOs where you get all the leads to come in from that.
Yeah, lead propeller. They do have an SEO package that starts out at, I think, like $400 or $500 a month. I'd have to look at it again, but the guy who created it, he's a real estate investor, but he's also a web designer first. He's a web designer first and then a real estate investor. So he knows what he's doing when it comes to that. You can use his SEO services, but it's probably going to be cheaper with thehoff.com. But again, you guys, I don't want us to get too far ahead. We'll talk about that here in the next couple weeks. Okay. And so, is there any? I see the videos, but I still can't see the chat box. Is there anybody else that asked something in the chat?
No.
No.
No more
All right.
questions.
How many of y'all are sleepy and ready for bed?
I'm just ready for some leads. And then bed. Yeah. So let's keep working on that.
I'm about to work on my website that I want to look very different.
One more question. What do you think about Fiverr? Have you ever heard of Fiverr.com?
So I actually, good news about Fiverr. I just got back today my logo for my company. So
I was thinking about having them create the website.
No, I have not reached out to anybody to do that, but I was thinking about doing those animation videos where you're like, oh, meet Bob, you know, those animation videos, and kind of put it in there on the front page, because you can do that with Investor Carrot. So that's something that I'm going to look into, but I haven't thought about having somebody really take over and kind of do it, which I might look into, because it's been a struggle for me.
Great. And yeah, I like it. I love Fiverr.com. If you're going to have them create a website for you, I doubt that they're going to create it for $5. So I don't know what their price structure is for that. Anybody that wants to create your website for $5, I would stay away from them. But
that was the prices too, $10. I saw $10. I was like, that's too good to be true.
To create a whole website?
Yeah, maybe they're just doing an Investor Carrot or something.
That's gonna be like one page, literally one page. But
man, your website gonna look like your website.
Well, do you charge to? I mean, well, not do you charge? Of course you do. But do you create websites as well, like for a fee?
I used to, but I don't anymore. Just because it's not worth my time. If that makes sense. Like
I get it.
I can do it, but like I'm gonna charge so much money that you're not gonna like me.
Oh.
He said, "Oh." No, but I mean, because like me, I'm a perfectionist. So if I do something, I want it to be flawless. Okay. So like if somebody pays me to do their website, I'm not gonna half-ass it. So I want it to look like flawless, where you're looking at it and you're like proud of it. Okay. So for me to do that, that's going to require like literally 10 plus hours of my time to make sure that everything is situated and lined up. Okay. Like I did a webinar the other day with a gentleman, and you guys probably saw it yesterday with Brian Stark, and he had his web designer set up some stuff for him. And then he said, "Hey, Daniel, I need help with this and that, and setting up whatever. He's like, it only take you 15 minutes. And I'm like, dude, it's not gonna take me 15 minutes, right? And he thought it was like a little small fix, but it literally took me like 2 hours to get into there and do it. Okay. But yeah. Long story short, there is somebody that I can recommend to create websites. His name is Christopher Walker. Okay, Christopher Walker. If you guys want me to introduce you to him on Facebook, I will. Just tag me in our private Facebook group, and I'll make that introduction. And he should be able to do it for an affordable rate. Okay. And then there's also another lady. She's in Charlotte, North Carolina. Her name is Jennifer Dixon. So if any of you guys want those contacts for the website design, I'll go ahead and hook y'all up. Okay. All right. So cool. All right. So let's go ahead and come to an end, you guys. I see y'all eating your lips and your cheeks because you're hungry. I'm hungry too. Definitely before Friday evening, you guys try. I challenge you guys to get all the stuff done for week 1 on the checklist. Okay. If there's something which is happening, which is preventing you from
what was
if you're getting chased by a train down the railroad track, I want you to get off the tracks so y'all don't get hit. But seriously, try and get everything done, okay, or as close to being done as possible. And if you need any help or guidance, let me know. If there's something which is holding you up, I want you to put that on pause and then get all the other things done after it, okay? So,
okay.
All right. So, hey, you guys, it's been a great call. We'll get this posted here sometime tomorrow to the Facebook group. You guys have an excellent evening. Get some sleep. Make some money. On Friday evening, we're going to talk about building up your cash buyers list along with a few other things, okay? So we're going to have an excellent time on Friday. So peace and God bless, y'all. Now let me try and end this.